Top of the morning, top of the morning. How we feeling, people? I hope everyone's feeling okay. I hope everyone had a great Tuesday. What's happening? Huh?
What's popping?
Brand new whip, just hopped in.
How we doing?
I got options.
Do you?
I got
You got
options.
options, brother?
I got options. I got options. I don't know about
He's got
you,
options.
but I got options.
Your dad's foot fungus says what's up, by the way.
Shout out to your dad's foot fungus.
Which is an incredible username.
How we feeling? Say what's up in the chat if you're with us today. As always, we're going to do a mock draft today. Today, we're doing a SuperFlex mock draft with our community. If you do not know, we do have redraft leagues to fill up. We do have one more redraft league, which is the Delta League. Patreon.com/FantasylandFam. Check the link in the description below. The last day to sign up there is August 27th. August 27th is the last day to sign up for a redraft league. Once again, I think 4 to 5 spots left. Let's fill that up as soon as possible. If you have any questions, send a message on Discord. Send a message to us on Discord, and we can definitely help you out. Your dad's foot fungus.
What an incredible username.
Honestly. Say what's up. Say what's up.
Absolutely prime.
Absolutely.
How's everybody doing? We are back, and we're going to have not only one mock draft today, but we're going to do multiple, and one of those will be on the Dynasty channel. But Aki, I'm feeling like we can even maybe do 2 here today.
Yeah, let's do what we do and let's do it best. Understood?
Oh, understood.
How's the stash coming out, man? I mean, have you gotten any weird looks so far?
Okay, so you guys have probably noticed this if you've been watching our videos, depending on when they've released, and this is pretty disgusting, so bear with me. I got a little rash going on my neck right now. So you've probably been able to see it in some videos. It's been nasty. It's been taken over, and unfortunately, I didn't really know that when I was doing this whole stash vibe, and I went to the doctor, and he was like, yeah, it's this thing, and you need to use this ointment or whatever. So I got ointment on my it's oily as hell all over my neck. 3 times a day I got to put that stuff on.
I just thought that maybe you broke out. It doesn't look like a rash. It just looks like you shaved and cut yourself type vibe.
It's bad, bro. It's itchy as hell. Like, I couldn't sleep. That's like one of the reasons I couldn't sleep 2 nights ago, is because it just wouldn't stop itching.
Right.
It's awful. It's bad, and it's spreading all over my body. And I feel like my body is hating me right now. So what was the question?
What's that? Eczema? Have you seen that?
You got eczema?
What's that? Eczema?
Actually, that eczema as a kid. That was a while ago though, but
that's funny. What's happening,
Raw? What was the question?
Clyde, I said, how's the stash coming out? You know, any weird looks or anything?
So stash, I really enjoyed it, but now my doctor said I can't really shave my face, so you're gonna see this beard come in real quick. So by the end of the week, you'll see a beard.
What's happening? 22 days until kickoff. Fantasy football stress rash. Martin said, Joseph, what's up,
That's
guys?
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Joseph? Definitely remember you, bro.
100%. How you feeling? Tom had a question already. Trade Chubb, more Ayuk for Cup. Clyde, empty to 24 first. I'm keeping Chubb more and Ayuk. I think Clyde, empty. Yeah. Clyde and MT is just not enough for me in a 24 first. I like, but I guess it really depends if you're trying to win now or be a futuristic team. I feel like you can get Chubb. You can just sell Chubb right now. I don't know. I think we have a we have a video out already, if I'm not mistaken, telling you players that we are avoiding.
A hard one.
Yeah, and Chubb is definitely on that list, but I would rather keep more in Ayuk. I know Cooper Kupp is, wide receiver 1.
I'll say this: if you're actually trying to win right now, I actually might take the Kupp side, and oddly enough, it also helps you going forward. So if you need help at wide receiver, I'm actually pretty comfortable with the Kupp side personally.
Yeah, once again, all depends on how you are going to build that team. How you want to build that team. Garrett, what's happening, brother? I'm glad that you're back in the fantasy football season.
Right.
I guess chair, feeling good, man. About 2 weeks out from my home league SuperFlex draft. Yeah, hey, they have a SuperFlex, the Pomeranian SuperFlex on Underdog, by the way.
They have what?
They have it's called the Pomeranian.
Really?
It's a $3, but it's SuperFlex.
Oh, that's awesome. We should do that.
Yeah. What's happening, Andrew? How you doing? Say what's up in the chat once again. Make sure you drop a like, as always. It really helps us get as many people in here and get our name somehow noticed. But
By who? Who's
By,
noticing?
I mean, the people, you know,
The
the Andrews, the
community. That's
Garretts,
right.
the Josephs, the Toms, you
That's
know, like
exactly right.
those people. Um, let's go to draft screen
Yeah. So we are going to be doing a mock draft today. We might be doing more than one. Who knows? We're going to see kind of how it feels. But we're definitely doing at least a dynasty mock draft as well today. Join our Discord with the link that we just posted in the description if you want to mock with us. We will post the links over there on the redraft mock draft text channel. Okay. So SuperFlex today, I'm drafting from the 7, which, you know, I didn't even realize when I switched from the 3, but I now have the 7 in 2
Oh,
leagues.
did you actually switch already? I didn't
I
realize.
switched from the 3 in Charlie, and I switched to the 7, not even realizing that I had the 7 in Bravo. So,
Well,
I
there you
mean,
go.
here we are, right? I mean, like,
There you
what
go.
can you do? But as Badaki was saying, guys, we still have like 4 spots left in our last redraft league. This is the last one that we're gonna do. So once that one fills, it's over, it's done. There's no more redraft leagues for the year. But if you want to join us, make sure you check out our Patreon. I can actually link that here in the chat as well. No more dynasty leagues available, but there are redraft leagues, and once those fill, this last league, the Delta League, then it will be game over for redraft this year. Big shout out to Dante, a couple other people who are waiting on that league to fill.
Yeah.
So,
Huge.
what's up, Andrew?
So got me, man.
Tom says I have 23 firsts. MT core is now Cup, Waddle, Godwin, Mahomes, and Ertz. At quarterback, I have 324 first, trying to trade for a running back to contend. Right. So you're trying to move Cup. I don't. Chubb's not the guy I want to trade for.
Yeah,
personally.
exactly. That's where we would say there. Once again,
We would agree there.
it's that's pretty tough. If anything, I'm keeping Cooper Kupp, trying to get probably even a younger back. Honestly, I think you can get younger with Cooper Kupp right here. A lot of people, especially win now teams that are out there, maybe they don't have younger backs. Maybe you want to, so maybe someone wants to transition or is in that middle phase that needs that wide receiver that you can trade Cooper Kupp and get once again a younger back. Maybe you can get a JK. Maybe you can get, I know Zach doesn't like a Cam or an ETN, somebody like that along those lines.
Yeah.
Garrett said you guys don't like Chubb for redraft. Redraft, I think it's a little bit different. I think we're both just off Chubb based off of everything that's happening. And, you know, Deshaun, I think a lot of the success has to come from someone like Deshaun Watson, this offensive line. I mean, if we've seen the center and the backup center just towards ACL. And obviously these are just more things that have been piling up. But I just don't want any part of this Browns offense, at least for me specifically. I don't want Amari Cooper. I don't want Nick Chubb. I think it's going to be really easy to eliminate, in my opinion, really easy to eliminate that run game this year, especially without Deshaun being there. If he does get suspended, like his suspension gets extended. So yeah.
Yeah, you know, I feel like right now it's all value for me. I think Kareem Hunt's a good value. I think because even if he gets traded, I think he's really relevant, and I think Cooper is a pretty good value as well. So I guess the only thing I'm avoiding right now is technically Chubb, and I guess Njoku, not in Dynasty, but you know, there's a video that's coming out like tomorrow, and it will be your morning time, and it's gonna say exactly why I'm avoiding Chubb. It's literally everything you need to know. So wait for that to come out. But in the meantime, I'm gonna send this out again. Join our Discord if you want to be a part of this mock draft, and we're gonna send it out now. And we're gonna mock together. Redraft mock draft. Link here to join today's mock. Here it comes, baby. There it goes. Where did you come from? Where did you go? By the way, shout out to the Mighty Booch. Just saw you sign up to our Close Friends Plus tier. If you are looking to play in a redraft league, make sure you oh, hey, Claire, that's you. That's probably you. Just join your Patreon. Thanks for your time, my dudes. New to Dynasty, y'all have been helpful. Dude, thank you so much for signing up on Patreon. Really, really appreciate that, man. That means a ton. With that Close Friends Plus tier, you're going to get a bunch of insight on our rankings, rookie, redraft, dynasty, best ball. You also get access to something called the fantasy hotline, which is where we will set that up afterwards. which is where you can have a conversation with us one-on-one in a DM over on Discord.
Yeah.
And we can help you out with some questions that you have. If you do want to play in a redraft league, the next tier up is the one. But if you're just looking for the Close Friends Plus, welcome. Definitely excited to chat to you.
Thank you so much for
coming.
coming.
All right, let's get this started, Badaki.
Yeah, once again, this is a super flex league. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 3 flex spots, and then a super flex. Okay, keep that in mind. 3 flex spots. This is how our league is set up in our redraft league. And obviously a couple bench spots. 30 seconds on the clock. Straight to the point. Super easy, super simple. There we go. Drew, what's happening, brother? Current feelings on Burks. Let me turn off this wow sound. Current feelings on Burks to other rookies. Burks was a guy that I definitely liked. Not necessarily in love with the landing spot. I know a lot of people are going to probably disagree or agree. I just don't. I'm not as high on him this year. I need to see what this quarterback's going to look like, as Ryan Tannehill is going to be targeting him. I think there's a lot of question marks in my eyes. I like Chris Olave. I like Sky Moore, all these other guys over him at the moment. If I had to choose in redraft specifically or in Dynasty, I think he's my QB, my wide receiver. I don't have my Dynasty rankings up, actually. He's definitely like the 3rd or 4th wide receiver out of those rookies, if I had to say. That's off the top of my head.
Sure. I would say for me, I think Burks is being massively underlooked right now because he was running with like the 2s, and then because he didn't really have an impressive stat line in his first game. But there was a breakdown I tweeted which made me really impressed with Burks in his preseason game, like his very first game. He was running very good routes. He was open. He just wasn't getting hit. You can check out my Twitter. I think it's Zach Savage, ZAXAVAGE. And it's by the Football Scout. He talks about Treylon Burks, and he breaks it down really well. So I think Treylon is actually progressing better than people are giving him credit for. But right now, he's my wide receiver 37 in redraft. So, you know, he's kind of in that range where all the people I feel like have solidified work have gone, and then I'm willing to take a chance on him after that. So definitely more skeptical today than I was, you know, let's say 6 months ago, a month ago in redraft. But still, I think he fits really well in that ADP where it's worth a shot, in my opinion, to take a chance on him. So that's where I currently stand with him. As we see trading post, please tell me you didn't just go on auto.
Wow.
Trading post, yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank God. As we see Jalen Hurts before me, Justin Jefferson at the 1-4. Kyler Murray, I got him at the 1-7. Jonathan Taylor to the 1-8. Burrow at the 9. Cup. Russell Wilson and Tom Brady at the 1-11 and 2-2. Thomas starts off with CMC and Jamar Chase. Love that start from him.
Yeah. Once again, guys, this is super flex. Just to keep. I mean, not saying you can definitely do. You know, Justin Jefferson feels okay. Jonathan Taylor, all those guys feel okay. Just depend. Just
none
keep
of
you guys
these
in mind. Doesn't feel out of.
None of these non-quarterbacks feel out of place. You
yeah.
know, but
yeah. How do you compare him to Pickens? I think we both like George Pickens over Treylon Burks. I think there's no doubt about it. I know that's Zach's guy. I definitely have Pickens over Burks right now for sure. Tommy said Pickens a steal. Pickens over Burks for me in Dynasty, absolutely. Pickens, Wilson, Olave will lead the rookies, Tommy said. What's happening, ATJ? How you feeling, brother? No,
right, I'm on the board here.
Jonathan Taylor, Travis Kelce.
Kind of annoyed that
Trey
Lance went before me, but he did. So now I need to adjust, and I'm gonna go Matthew Stafford here.
Wow.
Just on that, I haven't officially moved Pickens ahead of Treylon Burks just yet in Dynasty. Now he's very close, but I have not moved him ahead of him just yet. And are you sure that you have Pickens ahead of Burks in Dynasty right now? Because when we made that video, you had Pickens, I think, in the 40s.
Yeah.
In Dynasty.
Well, I'm not necessarily high on. I'm not massively high on Burks, and I've changed my rankings since.
Okay.
At least because we haven't re-released it.
Right.
Wow.
And you're right. I didn't change him all the way. Like George Pickens is not ahead of Treylon, but I think it could get to that point. So
Sure. Oh, for sure.
I just
Definitely.
opened up my rankings, and Treylon Burks is definitely lower than if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. I think he was like my wide receiver 17 or something.
Right.
But he's definitely lower now in my rankings.
Okay. Fair enough. Um, what's up, ATJ? Everyone, Tommy says Pickens is a steal. Yeah, a lot of NFL teams are going to be upset about that. That they passed on him. Just as we see Henry, Eckler, Carr, Adams, Rogers, Najee, Diggs, and Dalvin go off the board, as well as Kirk Cousins in the 3rd round. You know, this is what happens. We're going to start seeing some of these quarterbacks go a little bit earlier than anticipated.
Yeah, now these
In this
quarterbacks,
SuperFlex format.
it's definitely in this weird space right now. Let's see how it goes. Comfortable taking Jed first now. He's the same coordinator or coach that Cup had. Yeah, for sure, Tommy. Why does everyone have?
So I'm going to grab Joe Mixon here. Really close between another running back, but I'll take it. Tommy says, I'm comfortable with Jay Jettas in the 1st now.
Yeah.
He has the same coordinator or coach that Cup had for sure. Jason says, why does everyone have James Conner low? He's a workhorse and a good offense. You know, I did actually move James Conner a little bit up my rankings, but not to the point I think where you're going to say it should be. I'm probably lower than what you know, if you're feeling that way. He's my RB17. So I am taking him over Breece Hall at this point. But it is close. Like Breece Hall is my RB18, so they're back to back at this point. But you know, injury is something that you do have to worry with James Conner. It's been a part of his career. Every time he's been a workhorse running back, injury has followed.
Yeah.
So there are reasons to be concerned. I mean, as soon as he got that workload from Chase Edmonds, it took only a couple weeks for him to have an injury himself. So
exactly.
I think that there will be someone involved in the passing game, whether it's Eno Benjamin or Darrell Williams. He's not going to get all the work himself, but he will be obviously very crucial for them on the goal line. I think he's going to end up being a really good value, and I'm comfortable drafting him now at his ADP, but beforehand I wasn't, because he was going around the Cooks, around the Mixon Swifts. Like, that was too high for me, but now at this point I am comfortable drafting him at his current ADP.
Yeah, and I think that's, like Zach said, that's the biggest thing. It's the I always said this is not when, it's not if, it's when he's going to get injured, in my opinion. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You said, I mean, everything you said is what I would have said. So I'm right there with you. He's I think my running back 23, something like that. So I actually have him significantly lower than consensus and everyone. I think the hype is too much, because I am truly believing in that injury. I know that sounds crazy, and maybe I shouldn't. I'll go Mike Evans here. Let's get this stack.
Well, that's a bit hard to predict, but you know, we have seen it historically.
Yeah.
RB23.
Yeah, it's pretty low. Like I'm happy to take guys like Josh Jacobs, Breece, Mitchell, Cam Akers, and that's the tier that he's in. At the bottom of that tier, he's right above AJ Dillon for me. So it's not a guy that I'm not necessarily targeting in redraft at all. If he doesn't get injured, sure. I mean, we can't really predict injury, but if the history shows it, just kind of like if we are going to look at any other injury, it's like, well, he's going to be missing some time. And I think that this is why a guy like Darrell Williams is a guy that I've always been targeting in the late rounds, because I just believe in him to come back, or I believe in him to take a lot of that workload. Tommy said Amon-Ra breakout coming. Yeah, I love Amon-Ra.
Yeah, Amon-Ra is someone I have ranked, I think, wide receiver 28, so I'm excited about him. Kenneth Walker is injured, yes. I think I might have accidentally skipped ATJ's question. I know it's just the first week of preseason, but what's your guys' reaction to ETN passing up big holes between the tackles? Not too worried about it.
Yeah, personally. I haven't really analyzed like his running, like the running style and how the offense was and how he operated. But I mean, the one thing I saw, I don't necessarily believe he will get crazy touches. I think he will definitely get a lot of receptions. I think that Zach has said that in the past. I think once James Robinson comes back, I think James is definitely going to be the 1-2 back. ETN is going to be a pass catching threat. I mean, the speed and the burst is there. We saw it. So Gotta wait and see what that
I
looks
don't think
like.
you're gonna see Etienne in like a JD McKissick role, to be honest. Like I feel like he's gonna be a much more pivotal part of that offense than like the third down running back role. Um, but I do think James Robinson's gonna have an important part to play as well, for sure. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna be like third down role or anything like that. I think he's probably gonna get around 15 to 17 touches a game. Is how I see it, whether that's through the air or on the ground.
Yeah. See if you see people talking about his film. Ken Walker injury, yeah, a hernia of some sort. I think he should be fine. He should be fine by the. I think they're just keeping precaution, keeping him out of the game or out of practice.
Yeah, it's interesting. Apparently, I don't think he's gonna like do anything until the regular season now. So we'll see how that pans out for him. But you know, it definitely opens the door for Penny. We heard reports that Penny and Walker are gonna have a similar workload. So let's see what happens. Definitely could see that happening, like them having a very similar workload to each other.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to go wide receiver here, but this is tough.
Would you guys rather have Nick Chubb or James Conner have PPR? I think I would still go Nick Chubb there for me. Wasn't really much info on that. HEJ said Robinson there. Garrett says, I heard most people I know avoiding Amon-Ra because he shined while everyone was hurt. Yeah, I mean, another reason why you should wait for one of our videos to come out. I have Amon-Ra as a guy that I really like this year. I've always liked Amon-Ra. He's always been high in my rankings, higher than consensus. I know a lot of people were off on him during the offseason. One of the things a lot of people were saying that, like, well, TJ, Swift, all these guys were hurt. I think it's going to be very different.
Which is true.
It is very true. Not saying that's not, but I think
the good thing about Amon-Ra is that his ADP hasn't gotten out of control. That was what my worry was. What everyone viewed him as his league winner last year, and you know he's going to get drafted around the top 20 or so, which isn't happening. So you know it's all relative to where they're going, I guess. 15 to 17 is a lot. Yeah, it is. I don't see an offensive weapon on that team that is like who's the better offensive weapon on that team than Travis Etienne? There's no one on that team to me that I look at and I'm like, oh, they are a better centerpiece. So I think you're going to see Etienne used in some pretty creative ways. But yeah, I do expect at least 15 touches a game for Etienne this year. That feels safe to me to say. I understand some people might disagree, but that's okay. As you see, Etienne at 6'1", he goes after Monty, after Dobbins, after Zeke, which we don't see all that often. That's quite surprising to see Etienne fall that far. I was going to take him there at the 5'7", but I just needed to grab a running back.
Wide receiver, yeah. I mean, I didn't realize Jerry and Cortland went off the board. That might be a real scenario where they might not come back to me. Maybe I don't take Mike Evans and get someone like Chris Godwin in the 6, and might have to target one of these guys a little bit earlier, because I do believe they have significantly more higher upside than, I don't know, maybe I should have got Aaron Jones there. Or I can't get Aaron Jones, Lenny, but at the same time I can't get Tom. It's tough.
Son of a bitch.
It's a tough one. If it's just a lot,
that sucks.
Jericho said publicly Amon-Ra is his guy, so that says a lot, I think. Yeah, so yeah, we both like Amon-Ra. I always loved him, and you're right, like Zach said. I think Zach was scared of the ADP. I wasn't necessarily scared of the ADP because I knew a lot of people were going to, at least the way I thought process was, well, a lot of people are going to be off him, because I felt like the majority of the community was off him. Not saying I was a lone shark there, but I think the majority of the community was not loving Amon-Ra hype, because TJ Hawkinson was out, Swift was out, but like Zach said it, he could be the Robert Woods to Jared Goff, so we'll see how that looks.
Yeah, he could be for sure.
Rightfully so. I also think JMO will eventually play this year. I think so as well as TJ, and I think that's just going to help more from. It's going to just help this offense in general, which I really like.
Yeah, I would say like in general, I do think that Jameson Williams is the wide receiver to own long term, but if we're talking this year in redraft, I don't think he poses a threat to Amon-Ra. So
Oh gosh, Drew Luck tested positive for COVID, won't play preseason too, and he was
yeah,
set
I
to
saw
play.
that.
That sucks. I just saw the tweet.
He was set to start, like,
Yeah, he
'cause
was.
that was a part of their plan.
Yeah, that was part of their plan to get a real gauge of if they should be starting him or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Which kind of sucks. But good news for brother Zach Wilson. Successful surgery. Let's see if he comes back, and when he does, I mean, I'm happy for him to take his time, miss the first 3 weeks, come back, huh?
Yeah, for real.
I'm just
Take
a
your
believer.
time.
Yeah, take your time. Miss the first 3 games, come back. Do what you got to do. Devonta Parker continues to shine big. Steal. I'm saying it now, right?
Yeah, I've been talking about Parker for a while now, and I 100% agree with you, man. I think it's hard to find someone who is technically the wide receiver 1 on their team who's going that late in drafts. So I'm 100% with you, and I agree.
Trading Pros, brother, we love you, man. But if you're not gonna be here the whole time, please don't enter the draft.
Just don't join. I mean, we do them all the time.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't able to stay on, just don't join, because there are people who want to join who can mock with us, and
yeah, man.
if it's gonna be on auto, it's just not. It
doesn't help anyone, really.
Doesn't help anyone. Yeah. Doesn't help you as well to just jump in and go on auto.
Daniel Lawrence said Zach Milfson. Well, then reports are
Give
first.
me
On the clock.
you know what?
Oh.
Give me Michael Thomas.
You got Juju.
Goddard. Okay, that was my next person on my queue. I should have. Well, I was gonna go Michael Thomas there, but
no.
To be honest, I was gonna go Michael Thomas over 3 guys on my queue, but it's too late now.
Nah, it's all good. Raw said then reports at first made it seem like half a season injury, not 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah. Let me get ready for my pick here, and maybe you can. Let's look at my team. Russell Wilson.
ATJ says it's going to be a long year for Jets. Tommy says Elijah Moore and Wilson are going to have major roles since they are talented. Yeah, they'll definitely be featured in the offense, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're definitely going to wait and see. Antonio Gibson at the 7-10. What's that make him, out of curiosity? Let me make a pick here. I mean, we're talking about the Jets. I'm happy to take my brother Elijah right there. Actually, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. RB 27 as Garrett's running back 2.
RB 27, that feels comfortable to me. Let's see if he's going to keep falling, because I do think he is going to keep falling past that.
Yep. All right. So Elijah Moore, Deontay Johnson, Mike Evans, Elijah Moore. Next guy up on the list. Mooney already went. Bateman already went. So next guy on the list here. Dang, back to back.
Treylon Burks at the 8-1. Where did Drake London go?
Back to back here. I'm going to go with my guy, Devonta Smith. I've been saying he's going to have a better year. I really like where he's going at the 8-2. Just still really believing in Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts. Sure.
So Burks ahead of London is interesting. And, I'm a Burks guy in Dynasty. But I don't know that we can really justify taking him over Burks at this point, or over London at this point in a redraft format.
Yeah.
I don't know. That could be just me, but I feel like we, that's just a little bit too early at this point.
Yeah, probably. Long year for the Jets. Elijah Moore and Wilson are going to have a major role. Okay, we said that already. Almost went Thomas instead of Bateman, Andrew said. Tommy said, man, I got to do research.
Kind of annoyed because I kind of wanted to, grab him there. I haven't done that very much. All
yeah,
right, I'm up.
Michael
Give me
Thomas.
Christian Kirk. I love his value pretty much whenever he's on the board in drafts. So I'll take him there.
So ACJ still early for Gibson. I'm done with Gibson today. He got special teams work. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw the reports there, Zach. The reports in general don't look good. But at the same time, they said that he worked with special teams and then he had some reps with the first team. It's just like, how the reports
It's
aren't sounding
important to
good.
read the entire thing. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying with these reports. Like,
Yeah.
the hard thing right now with beat writers or like people who tweet out information about Cam, you have to think about it. Everyone is looking for people to interact with their content. So what's going to be the most grabby thing? But just like what I've always said, make sure you read through the entire thing, like all of it. It's important to read through all of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But obviously, like I've said on that video, Gibson is not someone that I think we should be targeting anymore.
Tommy said, so I gave up on him. No QB strat sheets. Raw said, I'm assuming for Tom. Tom is at the end here. Not one quarterback taken. Let's see.
Really?
Yeah. Let me just make our faces a little bit smaller here.
Okay.
Just so we can get a little bit more of the board. Ooh. Who else? What do you guys expect from Garrett Wilson? My buddy thinks he has Justin Jefferson potential. For me, Garrett Wilson was my wide receiver one coming out this class. I really liked him. I don't know if he has Justin Jefferson potential. That's like saying he is just as good as Justin Jefferson. He's the wide receiver one. I think he has potential to be fantasy relevant and be a star on the field. I don't know if he would. I think it's really high praise to say Justin Jefferson potential. I'm trying to think if, like, what level.
To me, he's more like a career, like how I've kind of viewed him as more like a career wide receiver 2 in fantasy. Like a Robert Woods type production. I don't really see him as someone who's going to be viewed as like a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. And, definitely could be wrong, but I actually liked Olave a little bit more this year than I liked Garrett Wilson. So,
right. Yeah.
Might be some bias coming out. Who knows?
Tommy said, Zach Badaki, look at previous years with the second year wide receivers like Mooney last year. Every year, there's a second year receiver top 20. Right. Yeah. I mean, Mooney is a guy that I think we both like. We know there's going to be struggles with this offense, but I'm a still believer in Justin Fields. I'm a believer in what he can do. I don't think
he's talking about Mooney. I think he's talking about Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson. He's comparing them to Mooney. I could be wrong.
Okay. I could be wrong. Maybe.
Yeah, I they're going to be centerpieces for sure. So it's definitely a possibility. Can't disagree there. What was the next question here?
Yeah, ATJ. He was initially working with the threes. My problem is not that. Well, he's not a question, more of a statement. I think he has very well started.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think we have the same exact thought process, ATJ. I don't know if you were able to catch the video where I talked about him, but I think we're pretty well on the same exact page there.
Yeah, I'm definitely there with you. So.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Claire said the loser of our dynasty team's toilet bowl has to keep Antonio Gibson on their roster for the next season. Gosh.
I love that.
I mean, do they walk away from Gibson? What's that look like? Is this his last year of his contract here?
No, it's not.
He has one more, right?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Let me see.
It's going to be interesting.
Look, I also think it's a little like, I think the overreaction is getting too much at this point. Like, why would they not use Antonio Gibson? I know because of the fumbles, but what I said in that video was week 2 of the preseason will be crucial, because if Brian Robinson comes out with the starters, then it's done. It's like, truly, that is a sign to me, confirmed, it's done. Like, move on. But if Gibson comes out with the starters, I don't think Brian Robinson's like automatically surpassed him or anything. So we'll have to wait and see. That's like saying Elijah Moore is the next Antonio Brown. We've heard that before. Hard to call anyone an Antonio Brown. Dude was in a league of his own, really. Tommy says, kid in my leagues is so annoying. I started a league and deleted because he's like, oh, I got to reboot my old one. I don't understand. I don't understand.
I don't understand. Thomas is going with D Watts here. believing in the non-suspension.
Amon-Ra or Elijah Moore in redraft? I think I'm going Amon-Ra. Yeah, I am. In Dynasty, I'm going Elijah, but in redraft, give me Amon-Ra this year. I think he has a more clear, solidified role. Not that Elijah doesn't, but I just think I'd rather bet on Amon-Ra in redraft, but in Dynasty, it's definitely Elijah for me.
Sorry, I just muted my mic. I'm taking Elijah Moore in both. I like Elijah Moore in redraft and in Dynasty. He was one of my favorite players coming out of that class. And I really believe in his talent. I believe in that. I'm shaking on the landing spot, to be completely honest. But Amon-Ra, gotta wait and see what that looks like. Damian Pierce goes there at the 10-3 too. I was actually low-key hoping he was gonna fold to me just a little. Like, I don't know. I thought he was buried in the depth, the ADP there. I didn't think anyone was gonna take him.
Yeah, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed because I really wanted
maybe one of those guys.
Penny. I wanted Rashad Penny there.
Right.
But we got to adjust, and I can't check my rankings. I don't have enough time, but it's between a couple of these guys, and give me Devin here.
Devin Singletary, like it. Joseph G posted this in the Discord, but in a startup today, I got J.K. Dobbins, Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins, Kyle Pitts, and CeeDee Lamb. 3 wide receivers, 2 flex, suggestions on how to run this team out.
Round, brother. Round.
Did I say that? Okay, round. It's hard because it's grayed out when I click on it, so I don't know if that makes any sense. So I'm like,
you might have accidentally clicked it, so.
No, like I clicked on it, but on the bottom it usually gives you like a preview of it, but it doesn't do that anymore. I don't know why. Maybe I'm doing it the wrong way. So I'm like, have to read it when it's grayed out.
Sure. I mean, it's hard to really say without seeing the rest of the team.
Yeah, I mean, what you have right there is fantastic, to be completely honest.
What I noticed is you didn't say a single quarterback, so I'm wondering who your quarterbacks are. That's what's worrying me, that you haven't said your quarterbacks, because typically if you don't mention them, it's like, well, look, my quarterbacks are probably not good.
Yeah, and you did say it's
so that's
super
what I'm
flex
really curious about there.
It's super flex as well.
So let us know who your quarterbacks are, but it's hard for sure. Ross is still going no quarterback strat with Watson. Yeah, for sure.
Joe Spring is the closest thing mentally to AB. Yeah, mentally, I mean, he's just different.
He's a dog.
He's a dog.
Yeah, ATJ. I mean, that's going to keep him on the field for sure. His ability to block is definitely going to keep him on the field.
Yeah. Tell me something bad. Blaze disagrees. Still no quarterback strat with Watson, Raw said. Yeah, right. Elijah Moore has more potential out of the Jets receivers. Yeah, I like, once again, Elijah Moore, he was my guy. He is my guy. Is it weird that one of the things that I like most about Pickens' game is his run blocking? No, once again, a dog. Joshua, Dynasty Superflex just made a trade. What side do you take? Monty Burks 24 first or DK Metcalf? I'm happy to take Monty Burks in a 24 first. I think that's pretty even for DK. Yeah. So
I agree.
I'm happy to.
I mean, I don't really like to. I would sell Monty, but
yeah, I'm happy to take. I don't really
value. Want Monty in Dynasty, but there's definitely more value on that side.
Can you show Team 7's whole team? Yeah, my bad. I definitely can. Team 7. There you go. That's you. You on the clock here?
I am on the clock here. Not really a running back I like here. Russell Gage is interesting at this spot. MVS is interesting at this spot. George Pickens, I think, is interesting here, and I'll grab him at the 11-7. What does that make him in redraft? Let me count.
Excited I was able to pick up Pickens and Delta, Daniel said. Yeah. Side A. The Rod Father, how you doing, brother? Dynasty Superflex Leagues. Give Ramondre Stevenson, Noah Fant, receive Damian Pierce, Zach Ertz. Give me the Stevenson Fant side. I really like both of those guys, especially in Dynasty. That makes
Pickens wide receiver 50, I think 52 or 54, somewhere around there. I probably lost track counting. He's my wide receiver 37 in redraft, so that feels like a steal.
So here I'm gonna take Michael Carter back, a guy I still believe is gonna get a ton of work in the backfields.
Who did you go on that dynasty question?
I want Stevenson Fant.
Okay.
I don't know if this feels early, but I think I should definitely get out the way now. And please tell me if I'm wrong here. Just want to get some more depth at the running back position. I'm going to take Brian Robinson here as well.
Yeah, I don't think that's too early.
I think that's fine. I mean, once again, Antonio Gibson going to get the 7-10 again. Brian Robinson that's 12-2. A guy, once again, I believe is going to get a lot of the work in the red zone, and just unfortunately looks like the better back. I see Pierce went high in this one. ATJ said, yeah. Joseph, it's in the middle of the draft still, 6th round. I'm attempting to trade for Derek Carr, who went 2 spots before my next pick. I also plan on taking Kenny Pickett in the 8th round and Winston late. I also acquired 2 firsts and 2 seconds. 2 firsts and 2 seconds, so trading down. That was okay. He's hoping. I thought I could still be right about the 12. Yeah, man. My card even. Sorry, Garrett. Yeah, I think that's okay. I mean, if you can definitely get Pickett, Kenny, if you can get Penny and then trade for Derek Carr, and I don't know, you swap picks or do whatever, I'm okay with that.
I just need to find a script. I'll be right back.
No, no worries. I guess just be aware that Kenny may not be starting at any time this point in season. I still believe he could get on the field, but it might be later than we all expect. So definitely pick up Mitch Trubisky maybe with one of those last picks that you have there in your redraft, or sorry, dynasty. Garrett, I thought I could still B-Rob once again on my card. Yeah, I needed some running back depth. I mean, Saquon, Monty, I have Damian, Michael Carter, B-Rob. I kind of like my wide receivers, Mike Evans, Deontay, Elijah Moore, Devonta Smith, and Alan Lazard there. My only downfall is going to be my tight end. Let's see who I can get back right here. And maybe what I need to do instead of taking Damian Harris, and if I can guarantee Michael Carter and Brian Robinson, maybe I get a Pat the Dragon, a Dawson Knox at the 9-11. I mean, they actually fell 2 rounds later, so maybe I need to figure out a different way to approach this. But this is why we mock. This is why we mock. Why not pass on Robinson and take him at? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I need to, once again, maybe I just need to. I think Brian Robinson, in my opinion, is going to be a massive surprise. And I've always said this. I've always said Brian Robinson is going to play a massive role in this offense. I just didn't think it was going to pan out this bad for Antonio Gibson. But once again, I think I'd just rather solidify that and then see who I can get. I mean, there's still a guy that I like out there as a tight end that I've always been raving about. And for me to get him at the 13-11 here, I think I'll be okay with that. Let's see.
Says, should I trade Ken Walker with the injury news for Treylon Burks? I mean, is this
redraft?
Dynasty? Is this redraft? What's the format here, Caleb? Depends on the format. Shaw White goes at the 13-9.
It's a redraft.
Who do I have ahead? Do I have Ken Walker or Treylon Burks ahead? Let me double check.
I would say I would go Ken if I'm not mistaken. And this is a tight end I'm talking about, guys. Hunter Henry, guy I really like. Still believe in. Finished top 10 tight ends this past year. I mean, there goes Thomas there in these last minute rounds. By the way,
this is what we look at like an overcompensation. We got 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
we have 5 quarterbacks on the team here.
This is the last round here, guys. Let's make this one the last round. I think since I have my guys, let me just double check who I can go for. I'm happy to take Jarvis here. Shot in the dark, I guess. Can definitely see him getting some spike weeks. Yeah, I'll definitely take Ken. I think
Yeah, it's pretty up in the air for me.
It's definitely. I was gonna say it definitely is up in the air. I mean,
I think it's like so close. Whatever I need help with, running backs or wide receivers, I'll take that side personally. Whatever I need more help with, but it's quite literally straight up in the air, and both are in relatively unknown situations.
Yeah. Well, he says
Walker's going to get work. I don't know that he's going to get like workhorse opportunity this year. So think about how many times you truly wanted to start Javonte Williams last year. It's pretty rare that you really wanted to start him.
Well, he says he has heavy running backs. I mean, he has CMC, Javonte, Etienne. I mean, if you have those guys, then maybe it's just worth trading Ken and get Burks, depending also.
Yeah, I would take that shot personally.
Also, depending on your wide receivers, you know, like how good are your wide receivers. But I think that helps you if you have, you know, these three heavy hitters with CMC, Javonte, and Etienne. So I'm happy with that. Jay, my auction redraft in SuperFlex went sideways. Ended up with Herbert, Dak, Rodgers, Carr, and Stafford. Have Sutton, Cooks, and Pittman as wide receivers. Below on running backs with Etienne, Ramondre, Dobbins. How to trade the quarterbacks? I mean, first of all, I like Etienne, Ramondre, and Dobbins as running back. Personally, you probably are a little bit short, and I'm not necessarily sure in auction drafts because I'm not big on auction drafts. Like, why did you go so many quarterbacks there? If it's just like a regular lineup, like any other draft, and you need two quarterbacks, then maybe you could have just drafted three and then gotten some pieces somewhere else. You know, like maybe you didn't have to draft Carr and Rodgers or Stafford and Rodgers or whichever combination you had. Yeah.
Jeez. There's a lot of quarterbacks.
That is a lot of quarterbacks, and I wonder why you went that way. But
well, in Superflex, it shouldn't be all that difficult to trade the quarterbacks, to be fair. Yeah. You know, it shouldn't be that difficult to trade them in Superflex. I think you'll be able to get value for sure.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, you just look for value relative to the positions.
That was the last round, but I guess we continue this round. My fault, I wasn't paying attention.
D Rose says, "Could you give your take on Etienne as a whole? The whole group, the group I use for my rankings are particularly down on him. Man, I would say it's gonna be best looked at in a video.
I'm pretty sure.
Let me link the video for you because
I think that's the one on the header of our Dynasty channel. Actually, breakouts. I think you have Etienne there.
Let me find it for you.
Sorry guys, I definitely did say round 14 was last round, but let's do round 15. We're already halfway through it.
The reason I'm trying to find the video is because we literally prepped for that video. Here, it's a breakout. It's a breakout running backs. Okay, let me post that in the channel here. Breakout running backs. I just posted it. I think the only thing that would have changed at that point is that we anticipated James Robinson being out most of the year, but I would say he's still going to be out probably about 4 to 5 weeks.
Come on.
Most of the information you're looking for is going to be in that video, and I hope you find it helpful.
What happened with Malcolm Butler? Did he tear something? Cornerback placed on injury reserve list. I guess I missed that.
I think he tore his ass.
Tore his ass, man. Reserve out for the season.
That man tore his ass.
Oh, Tommy, like dead ass though.
Dead ass though.
His injury reserve list will miss the season. While it is currently unknown what injury Butler sustained, the veteran quarterback has not practiced since New England. Wow. Well, that sucks.
Favorite post-hype sleeper. Post-hype sleeper. I would say if we're looking at Superflex leagues, Marcus Mariota in particular for me, feels like someone, like if we're saying like deep sleepers, he's someone that I'm willing to take a shot on as like a quarterback 3, quarterback 2 in a Superflex league. He really, really intrigues me. Outside of that, I am interested to see what KJ Hamler can do in that offense without Tim Patrick. And we obviously don't wish injuries on anyone.
Yeah.
But he's someone that really intrigues me, as well as Tyquan Thornton. Tyquan really interests me as well. I don't think we saw Isaiah Pacheco go off the board. Oh, we did at 14-10.
Did we?
I'm not very big on him, but you know a lot of people are.
14-10 here.
So yeah,
All right. Okay. Yeah. Favorite post sleeper. Thank you so much. Out for the season. Time you said dealing with lower body injury. HJ, do you guys still believe Brees will be a horse or have similar split with Carter like there was in Denver backfield? I've always been hesitant. I believe in Brees' talent. I just always believed that Michael Carter was always going to have some sort of workload. What did that look like? I was very unsure. And I feel like maybe preseason kind of didn't necessarily solidify that, but it's leaning towards the way that I kind of thought it was. Brees is definitely the more talented back, but I think Michael Carter is going to have a role. What is that going to look like as a whole? I'm not necessarily sure, but I don't know if Zach feels the same way. Zach feels the same way about it, but for me, I've always been on the side that Michael Carter was going to have some sort of workload.
Yeah, I think Michael Carter's still gonna. I'm the same as I was. I think he's gonna have a role. I don't think it's going to be bigger than Brees' role. I think Brees is gonna have the biggest role on the team. But I think Michael Carter is very much gonna be like the J.D. McKissick in that backfield. But no, I think Brees' talent will absolutely show out. Took Michael Carter in the 4th. You traded up for Brees in the 2nd. You're gonna use him. You're gonna utilize him. Now, Michael Carter and Melvin Gordon aren't the same running backs. They can't be used in the same ways. So I do think Carter's going to have a role, but I think Brees is still going to carry value on his own for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, I know you said you were interested in doing 2. Did you want to just go straight to Dynasty? I know it's nearly, 9 o'clock?
We can go to Dynasty. I was just thinking, like, if we had enough time, but I think just because...
Yeah, we didn't do a one yesterday. Let's go to Dynasty, show some love over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, guys, once again, I guess little plugs before we go and Zach is transitioning. Patreon.com/FantasyLandFam. That link's in the description below. We do have 4 or 5 more spots for our Delta League. The last date to sign up there is August 29th. If you want to be part of that on a league like this, a mock draft, a real draft, kind of like what we did today here, you can definitely be a part of that Patreon. You kind of see me twice. Let me turn that off. Patreon.com/FantasyLandFam. Super simple, super easy to join. If you have any questions, please message us on Discord as well. What else do we have? Make sure you like, subscribe, you watch these videos, show some love to the Redraft channel. As always, we do have a Dynasty channel. Like we said, Zach is going to be setting that up right now. That's also in the link in the description below. It says find our Dynasty channel here, so click on that. What else? One last thing. Best Ball. If you guys don't know, we are partnered with Underdog. Use promo code LAND. Obviously, on Underdog. And then if you deposit $10, the match you deposit $10 up to $100. I'm pretty sure we might do a Best Ball over there. We might. We'll wait and see what that looks like. But huge love. We're gonna continue to do some redrafts with the community, and let's do a Dynasty startup and talk about some Dynasty players. So
huge love. Yeah,
give us like 5 minutes.
I'll paste the link in the chat here in case anyone doesn't know. You don't follow us over on the Dynasty channel. You can come hang out with us there, ask us questions.
Yeah.
If you want to. So
yeah. So
please drop a like on your way out. 26 likes is awesome. Help us maybe get to 30. If there's 4 people out there who haven't done it, that would be awesome.
Yeah, we'll definitely see you in about like a couple minutes, 3 to 5 minutes ish.